Motivating teams through autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Unlocking peak performance. What works well? Es bueno. Give your team the freedom to take ownership of their work. Autonomy. The tools and space to get better at what they do. Mastery. And a clear understanding of why their work matters. Purpose. This combination, as Daniel Pink points out in his book Drive, is the key to unleashing motivation and achieving remarkable results. Real-world experience. I'll never forget the first time I came across Daniel Pink's book, Drive. It hit me hard. Pink discusses the deep human need for autonomy, mastery, and purpose, which made me realize how often I had been giving people tasks without granting them ownership. I thought back to times when I'd led projects trying to control every step to avoid failure. I believed I was helping, guiding, and protecting the outcome, but in reality, I was limiting my team's potential to grow and thrive. Pink's insights forced me to rethink everything. I needed to stop controlling and start trusting. Trusting my people to rise to the challenge, own their part of the project, and figure it out. So, I did just that. I let go and allowed autonomy to take the lead. One project stands out, a multi-year end-of-life technology debt initiative involving old, unsupported servers, hundreds of applications, and extensive compatibility testing. This complex project had what felt like tons of moving parts spanning across departments, and if not managed properly, it could significantly affect the customer due to the necessity of effectively managing downtimes. Instead of micromanaging, I told the project manager I hired, "Margaret, this is yours. I'm here to support you, but you're driving this. I hired you for your ability to get this done." I could see the shift in her energy. When she knew she was not being babysat, she took real ownership of the work. She made decisions, proposed solutions I hadn't even considered, and navigated roadblocks with a determination I'd never seen before. It wasn't perfect, but here's the thing. Perfection was never the goal. Mastery was. Pink talks about how humans crave the chance to improve and master their craft, and that's precisely what happened here. It wasn't about getting it right on the first try. It was about learning, growing, and developing a sense of pride in the work. When people are given autonomy and the space to enhance their skills, they naturally build confidence. The shift from hesitation to bold ownership happened because the team was empowered. They stopped asking for permission and started owning their decisions, approaching each obstacle with self-assurance, knowing they had the freedom and support to make things happen. Years before I became a product owner, PO, I was that team member struggling with project portfolio management, PPM, system issues. But I eventually became the go-to person for troubleshooting. Why? Because I was allowed to figure it out, to make mistakes, to try again and again until I mastered that system. I transformed right before my leader's eyes, evolving from frustrated to empowered, from hesitant to confident. That's the power of autonomy and mastery working together. All this can be accomplished when there is a reasonable tolerance for error rate and on-the-job learning. And then there's purpose. I realized I had been guilty of expecting people to show up and give their best, but I hadn't always connected their work to the bigger picture. It wasn't until I began explaining why we were doing the work, why it mattered beyond just hitting a deadline, that I saw a deeper level of commitment. It's one thing to say, get this done by Friday. It's another to say, this project is going to directly impact how we serve thousands of people, how we change their experience for the better. Once the team understood that their work wasn't just about completing tasks, but about making a real difference, their motivation soared. When people feel that their work has purpose, it adds a deeper level of commitment and ownership. When I heard Martha Nino speak at the Lean in Latinas conference at LinkedIn HQ on August 9th, 2024, just a day before my mother's birthday, her story resonated deeply with me. One of the most impactful moments was when she declared, "We do not have imposter syndrome. We are cycle breakers." This struck a chord because I have never felt like an imposter. Did I have things to learn on the job? Absolutely. We all do. But in many environments, I felt out of place, not due to my abilities, but because the leadership didn't reflect the principles of modern leadership that I hold dear. In the book Drive by Daniel Pink outlines the essence of what true leadership should embody, fostering autonomy, mastery, and purpose. This book, a staple on my bookshelf, alongside other invaluable resources, serves as a reminder of what effective contemporary leadership truly entails. What does not work so well? No bueno. I've been in environments where autonomy was non-existent. Leadership controlled every decision, and the team felt like their hands were tied. There was no room for creativity or independent thinking. People became disengaged, showing up just to clock in and clock out, doing the bare minimum because they didn't feel like their input mattered, and forget about mastery. When you're constantly being told what to do, there's no room for growth. You become stagnant. And when there's no sense of purpose behind the work, people check out mentally. The work gets done, but it's mechanical, lifeless, and unmotivated. If you want to unlock the full potential of your team, you have to trust them. Give them the autonomy to make decisions, the room to make mistakes, and the support to learn from those mistakes. Show them that mastery is a journey, not a destination. And most importantly, connect their work to a purpose larger than themselves. Purpose is what drives people to push through the tough days, to innovate, to care about what they're doing. Leadership isn't about controlling the process or dictating every move. It's about creating the conditions for people to thrive. When your team feels like they have ownership, the chance to grow, and a reason to care, you'll see a level of motivation and engagement that can't be forced. It has to come from within, and when it does, the results speak for themselves. Demi Lovato's Confident song encapsulates the journey of stepping into our power and recognizing our worth, elements that are vital in effective leadership. I saw this transformation unfold within my team as they connected their daily tasks to a greater purpose. The powerful assertion in her lyrics, "I'm the boss right now, not gonna fake it," resonates with my own evolution. This experience taught me that owning my space and embracing my abilities not only boosted my confidence, but also inspired my team to do the same. On the flip side, there are environments that suppress confidence and creativity. When leaders fail to acknowledge their team's contributions or cultivate a culture of fear, it leads to disengagement and feelings of undervaluation. This behavior is not just detrimental to morale, it erodes overall productivity and growth. In line with this, Destiny's Child's song Independent Woman Part 1 reinforces the principles of empowerment and self-reliance, aligning perfectly with practices that promote autonomy in leadership. The song emphasizes self-sufficiency and encourages team members to take ownership of their roles. Ultimately, the lessons from these songs and experiences highlight the need for an environment where confidence and independence are celebrated. By nurturing a culture that values empowerment, leaders can inspire their teams to rise, thrive, and contribute meaningfully to the organization. This is what drives success in the workplace, not mere survival, but a collective pursuit of excellence. This concludes Chapter 39. Please proceed to Chapter 40, Collaborative Decision-Making, Empowering Ownership and Accountability.